Welcome to the Marketing Combat Podcast. My name is Jason Donnelly, and this man sitting next to me in a completely different room, the cowboy hat. I talk about this every time, but just a majestic beard. Look at him. He looks like a cowboy. Okay, it's Chris Kubbernus. Tell us what we're talking about today.
What's up, Jason? Good to see you. Everything is it's that spray, from the 90s where you could actually like spray on hair. It's actually spray on beard. It's very good for actually underneath all this, my skin is just melting off. You don't want to see it. Anyways, that sounds really weird.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody. Sorry to waste your time for the first 30 seconds, 40 seconds. But the topic we're covering today is, did you see the new Meta commercial, the Meta Quest commercial? And is VR going to take off? Finally, is it going to take off? Yes or no? I'm going to say I have seen the commercial. We could talk more about that. I'm going to take the stance of VR is not going to take off. It is start stall all the time. It is not going to be a big thing. Not for a very, very, very long time. And the reason why I think this is, and so Jason, you have to take the position of yes, you think it's going to take off.
Easy.
The reason why I think VR is not going to take off, and you can even see it in this advertisement. If you haven't seen the ad, go take a look. Actually, we can just kind of showcase some clips of it right now. Basically, it features a man. He's putting together a baby crib. He looks like he's going to be a new father soon. And he's putting together a baby crib, and he's like struggling. It's falling apart. It's a piece of crap. And he gets this idea that, okay, I'll put on my Meta Quest headset and I'll be able to watch, a YouTube video at the same time as get the instructions up here, and he can kind of play with the panels and stuff like that. It's very, Iron Man-ish in some ways, but basically he's able to, almost, I would say not VR, but AR, which is augmented reality, his way to building this crib. And it showcases the technology. It's very Apple-esque. We talked about this. Like, it's very much like an Apple ad, but for Meta Quest. And it showcases the power of being able to see through the device, like look at your surroundings, and then also pull up windows and do sort of things like that. And I think that's the perfect case scenario for Meta Quest for these VR headsets is actually AR, because VR is so rooted in gaming at this point, and is so rooted in just turning off the world and being in a different world, in a fantasy world. And that has such limited capabilities or limited use cases for most people. Most people on the planet need AR. Would love AR because they need to be able to sort of see through, do some things, pull up some windows, work. So the use case and the things that you get from Meta Quest or from VR in general, AR is much, much better. And I still think like we've had just so many years of, will VR be the big thing? Oh, yes, it will. And then it's like, no. VR is going to be huge. Yes, yeah. No. Back down. So we've had this for like 20, 30, 40 years now. We've had VR hot, not. And I think it will continue that way because it doesn't have amazing applications. It doesn't have amazing use cases just yet. So it's not going to take off. It's got many or more years to go, and it will continue to be in Fantasyland. Whereas AR, in my opinion, is much, much more likely to be adopted by society.
All right, I hear you. First off, I just want to throw this out there. Have you guys, do you remember the Virtual Boy? I'm going to put a picture here so you guys see it later. Do you remember Virtual Boy, the Nintendo gaming system? It was the worst game on the planet. It gave me a headache. It was just this big red thing that you sat on a table, and it was all red lights inside. It was horrible, but it was my first experience in VR, AR. Anyway, I think you're completely wrong. Not only have we transitioned from those first Oculus Quest to the Quest 2 to the Quest 3 now, to the Quest 3 Slim, whatever it's going to be called, Quest 4 down the line. And Meta's coming out with their new AR, VR, Ray-Ban glasses or whatever coming in the next like 2025, 2026 that I think are going to take it to the masses. I think it's going to be cheaper. I think it's going to be lighter. I think it's going to be something that you can just put on like a regular pair of glasses. And for a little while, like right now, You've seen the AR glasses out there right now that they look like sunglasses, but they also are definitely, there's a computer in there. I think it's going to slowly transition over the next 2 to 5 years, and AR, VR, all of it's going to take off because the stuff's going to get faster, quicker, better, cheaper, and most importantly, not as massively intrusive. I had the Meta Quest 2, and it was just so long and big, and it was just it was hard to use. It was just so big, but it was awesome and it was fun. And I think just the more that they put into it, the more AR, like you said, I thought that commercial it wasn't for IKEA, but it was for IKEA, was so good. I thought it was so impressive. And I was like, I never thought of a Meta Quest headset being able to do something like that. Because you're always fumbling for your phone, trying to figure out how to do stuff and then putting it down and then it turns off and you're all stressed out the whole time. I think AR, VR, I think it's going to blow up. Like I said, 2 to 5 years, I think it's going to be huge. Everybody's going to have it and it's just going to get better, cheaper, lighter, faster, etc.
You heard it here, folks.
And hopefully, hopefully Apple gets a better vision version that's cheaper and I can immediately purchase it or get it sent to the show so that we can test it on the show and I can just have it.
That product is garbage. That's what we should do is like Apple Vision Pro, garbage or good. It's actually complete garbage. Apple has lost the plot on so many things, man. Like I am not impressed with that company. That's another episode, but
Apple,
they've lost the plot.
I love it.
They don't know what they're doing anymore. They're not innovative. They're just, they're overpriced crap that they need to figure out.
Man, that Crush It commercial really hit you deep.
They need to figure out. No. I actually don't think that commercial is that bad, but I do think,
I never.
I mean, there's just like, it's thinner, buy it. It's like, what? How can that be? I know we're way over time and this is not the topic at all, but it's like, if you compare it here, like the Meta Quest 3 versus an iPad Thin, I mean, like the Meta Quest 3 is cheaper and probably has more use for you in your life than a iPad Thin. So yeah,
this is a fight this is a fight we have to take to another show because I am in love with it.
Yeah, sorry about that.
And Apple, I will never talk down to you. You're beautiful people. Thank you.
I love it. All right. Thanks for tuning into this episode.
All right, there we go.
Thanks. Thanks for tuning in. See you tomorrow, guys.